from the tiny house, Adelita, in quite some time. And you probably noticed it looks a little bit different. I have been working so hard. You might have seen a lot of Instagram stories about all the different projects that I worked on. Ryan, level-headed handyman, had shoulder surgery on August 2nd or 3rd, can't remember the day, but early August, and has been basically immobile since then. So he's a couple months into recovery, starting to be able to do some stuff, and he helped out with a project today. But yeah, for the most part, he is unable to do anything. So there's a lot of these projects that I did with his instruction and did them myself, and they went really slowly. Let's just say that. These lights took about probably 30 to 45 minutes per light to wire. He could have been done in 5 minutes, but it was something new. I got to learn a lot of new DIY skills, some of which I never want to do again. Installing lighting is one of them. Those little wires are so tedious to work with. I have found that anything that is jigsaw puzzle-like, I enjoy. So the insulation that I installed, the rock wool insulation, I really enjoyed that, cutting the pieces to fit where they didn't fit just perfectly with the 16-inch pads. This wall behind me, this pallet wall, putting that together and being able to incorporate some of the pallet wood that we had that was already weathered, in addition to the brand new stuff that we bought at the Home Depot. And then things like the flooring that I put in, which granted I did it backwards the first time, but I only got about 5 rows in before I realized I was doing it backwards, or Ryan so lovingly pointed out to me that I was doing it backwards, but I insisted I wasn't, and I was. So got that flipped around, got the entire floor done. So you can see it's a beautiful dark color Hudspeth walnut from Life Proof, available at the Home Depot, is what we used, and just love all of the dark finishes. I didn't necessarily want to go black and white throughout, but the dark wood helps accent the black and white decor. And then of course our accent color, this turquoise color, this teal blue, actually comes from a print that I will show you in a minute. So this is a home stretch. It is in the home stretch. There are still a few projects to be done. I will point those out as we go through, but I will give you a little tour. We put up these fun faux shutters, faux windows that I got in con cans, so that makes a nice welcoming pop of color. And of course the welcome committee here, Poncha and Lefty, will be happy to greet you. They have become the therapy cats for the retreats. So when you come in, this is, I've shared before, it's a Lone Star structure, 12 by 32 studio shed. So it's their monoslope design. We had it delivered in June of 2021. So we're going on about 15 months working on this project, but it really slowed down in a couple of spots, and of course slowed down since Ryan had his surgery. I've got a little bit of decor up. I love shopping on Holistic Habitat. These are from Wayfair and were one of the first purchases I made, and they just turned out to be the perfect lighting for this space. There's another Holistic Habitat purchase, those candle holders. These are chairs that we have had forever. I think they're from Ashley, and they have held up. The neutral color means they kind of never go out of style. They're microfiber, so they're easy to clean. So we just stuck these in here for now. I'd like to get a sleeper sofa eventually to make for some more, so that this could hold more than 2 people. But for now, that works. Still working on the kitchen. It is a work in progress. Bought one of those little bar sinks so that it doesn't take up too much space. And we have a little dorm refrigerator in here that's working perfectly for bottled water and some other things. Ooh, got to clean it out from the retreat. And this black and white Southwest decor is going to be kind of the general theme, along with this turquoise color. It might not look as peacock blue as it is in real life on the screen. It's gonna have a butcher block top, so we have to cut that down. Home Depot gave us an island size instead of the standard size because that's all they had, but it means we have to cut it down. And I used a little toaster oven / air fryer for the first retreat. This is La Adelita. She is a print by the artist Dolan Guyman out of Colorado. Absolutely love her. I've had her for years. Bought her in Fort Worth, and Ryan made the frame, and she graced our living room for a couple of years, and now she is the focal point and the color and design inspiration for this entire cottage. I found these bedspreads on Natural Life, and this is also still a little bit of a work in progress, but just had it kind of staged for the retreats. And I went with twin beds so that people could sleep, together or apart. If you're a couple who's just as desperate to cuddle, then, push them together. But for the most part, these will be for women's retreats. And so this way the cottage sleeps two, and people, friends can share a space. And then eventually, like I said, hopefully a sleeper sofa. I did the pallet wall, which I'm very proud of, and I used some scrap wood to finish out this trim. So this was just scrap wood from somewhere else. I think it was the beams that we used to frame out this wall. So this was a great use of the scrap wood. And then we have a window unit, and that's not on right now because we hadn't been working in here for a couple months. So, or about 6 weeks, I guess, we haven't been using the space. There is definitely a punch list still to be addressed. When I put the flooring down, we still have this gap here in the closet doorway. Need a transition piece there. Need to finish out some of these places where this either needs to be repainted or just cleaned up. And our friend who did the texture got texture everywhere, so I've got to go through and scrape, which is probably what some of that marking is from, is me scraping the texture off. So that was a messy job for sure. We're grateful to have it done, and have it done on a budget, but there was a lot of cleanup to be done. The bathroom is an absolute disaster right now. It's kind of the construction zone storage area, which is what I'm going to be working on today, is making this more, well, not livable, I suppose, but just easier to work in. This is the countertop that has to be cut down. So I'm going to try to slide this back into the kitchen area. I'm not hosting any more retreats this year, so I have until January to get this finished. Here's the closet, and we were working on the closet doors today, and when Ryan cut them down, he realized he cut too much of the hole for the hinges off. So I'm going to put a shower curtain up. I don't even care. This is one of those things that maybe someday we will get nice bifold doors put in like we had planned, but I'm not worried about it. I don't think a lot of people will actually use a closet when they stay, and we'll just work with what we've got already. So I just have to figure out how to hang that or get a shower curtain, like a tension rod, and I have a really pretty shower curtain that matches that I thought I was going to use in here. But we have decided that this bathtub is too narrow to be used as a shower. So this bathroom will only have the soaking tub, and we'll probably put an outdoor shower eventually. So if you can use your imagination, you can imagine this being a very relaxing space. It's kind of that terracotta color that I am obsessed with right now. It's called Ciao, C-I-A-O, like Italian ciao. And I think it was Valspar, but I'm not totally sure. But I like it in here too because we put a dimmer switch. So the lights can be dimmed for your relaxing bath. This is the view from coming out of the bathroom. So it's definitely starting to fill in with furniture, and what felt like pretty big space has now officially become a tiny house. But I think it'll be perfect. I had 6 women plus me in here for our get together, our retreat. I served food in here and we all sat around comfortably, and I think that when it's just a couple or a family or a couple of friends who are staying here, it's going to be the perfect amount of space. And as I've said before, who needs to spend all of their time inside when you've got this to enjoy? I think Cookie agrees. This is really where you want to be spending your time when you're here at Time Pastures. That is the latest on the tiny house, La Adelita, which will be available for rent soon. Definitely a deadline of January to get it finished for retreats at that time, and hopefully Hip Camp and Airbnb rentals, but we haven't quite decided how hard we're going to hit that. You know, we'd love to share our space with people, but we also want to make sure that we have plenty of time to do what we need to do. I still have a full-time job. Ryan has a full-time job. So we're just working on this slowly but surely, which is why it's called Part-Time Pastures. And we say we're building our dreams one weekend at a time. So stay tuned. You'll get a video about once a week because that's pretty much all I have time for, but would love for you to follow along with our progress. Like this video, comment if you have any questions about our build here. And we also talk about cattle, chickens, our champion tiny home over there, cottage. Share some updates on that, gardening, all kinds of things. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.